sprints to the right. He is throwing long down the field. He wants Tyreek Hill, makes the catch and rolls into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
That was the biggest play of a thrilling victory over the Chargers the last time the Chiefs were in LA. Now a year later, hoping for a few more of those with the AFC West lead on the line. Hey everybody, and welcome into our game preview this week presented by Crown Royal. My name is Matt McMullen, and this week we're joined by Mike Garafolo from NFL Network. He's going to help us break down Thursday Night Football. Mike, what's up, man?
What's happening, Matt? How are you?
I'm doing great. The Chiefs have won 6 games in a row. We're certainly feeling pretty good here right now, coming off perhaps our most complete game of the season against the Raiders just a few days ago. Just a dominant performance on both offense and defense. It was awesome. 39-point victory over the Raiders. Are you kidding me? It was a lot of fun here in Kansas City. Now perhaps the biggest game of the year coming up here against the Chargers. So I want to ask you about the defense for the Chiefs here first, because they've been a revelation over the last several weeks. Since Week 8, this is the number 2 scoring defense in the NFL. Only New England has been better. They've allowed a grand total of 7 touchdowns in their last 6 games, and they've held the opposition under 10 points in 3 straight games. Now, of course, the Chargers are a bit of a challenge here with Justin Herbert and all his offensive weapons, but what do the Chiefs need to do to keep this defensive success going and stop this Chargers offense on Thursday?
Yeah, I've been covering Steve Spagnuolo defenses for going on a decade and a half now, and it doesn't matter what happens in September and October, because as the season goes on, he gets more comfortable with them. They get more comfortable with each other. For various reasons, that's really kind of always been the case with some of his defenses. And we're seeing that now. So what they need to do is the Chargers set you up with what they're able to do with their short passing game, get you on your toes, and then they hit you over the back there. And the play from Justin Herbert that we saw, the throw from him the other day, we saw 64 yards in the air over the top of the safeties that probably thought they were plenty deep. Is something that, gets in your head as you start to prepare for this game. So, I think they need to trust their guys underneath and not have these safeties all of a sudden overreacting to stuff down low. And now they creep forward, and now there's the shot over their head. That's probably what they're mostly going to be concerned about coming into this game.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Herbert has playmakers that can do that on this team. Guys like Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, both of those guys are nearing 1,000 yards this season. And Austin Eckler is the real guy to watch in this game, I think, because what he can do in the underneath passing game and as a runner out of the backfield really sets up what Herbert likes to do deep down the field. Eckler this season has over 1,200 yards from scrimmage. That's 6th in the NFL. And he's also 4th in the NFL this year in yards after the catch as a running back. So he has almost 500 yards after the catch this season. That short passing game really works for Eckler and this Chargers offense. Got to make sure you're wrapping him up and stopping him for short gains, not turning a 3-yard swing pass into a big gain. So Austin Eckler, trying to slow him down, will be a big focus in this game for the Chiefs. Now, looking at the Chiefs offense, we've been looking for more consistency from this group lately, and we saw it against the Raiders on Sunday. Patrick Mahomes completes 20 of 24 passes for 258 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. When you lead as many touchdown drives as you have incompletions, you're playing pretty well, and that's what Mahomes did on Sunday against the Raiders. What are you expecting from Mahomes in the offense against this Chargers defense on Thursday?
Yeah, it's sometimes you see Thursday games, the rhythm is kind of disrupted because it's just so hard to get healed up and get ready, and especially in the case of the Chiefs, to travel and get ready for the team. Now, look, that first Chargers game, I thought a little too much was made of, the Chargers have the blueprint for everybody and how to defend the Chiefs. It's nothing really that we hadn't seen before. It's defenses trying to keep everything in front of them, force them to have those 7, 8, 9, 10 play drives, force them to be patient. So I'd imagine they'll try to do the same thing again. But this is a team that really has become more effective in playing that way and then getting their chunks when they're available. They're clearly so much more in rhythm. Their offensive line is playing so much better. I talked to Orlando Brown about that last week before the Raiders game, about how many new pieces there were, about how it was for him getting comfortable in a scheme that was different than anything he'd really played in since all the way back to college. So when your offensive line is playing better, it's a lot easier to go up against a defense that's trying to make you play patient. So, you start to do those things, you get these teams, just kind of like what we talked about with the Chargers. You get these teams out of that mentality, and now all of a sudden you can hit those bigger chunks. So I don't know why it took till this Raiders game for people to really buy back in on the Chiefs. I thought they had shown before that Vegas game that they were back in rhythm, and now they're really in rhythm, and now everybody's kind of jumping back on now, right? And I'm sure the Chiefs are saying, stay away. We're good. Doubt us. We were happier when that was happening there. So we'll see. It's going to be a fascinating And let's see if the Chargers try to do what they did in that first game and try to make the Chiefs play patient. And if the Chiefs can do that, and then, again, get them out of that and hit their big plays.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, the Chiefs racked up nearly 450 yards of offense against the Chargers back in Week 3. Issue was turnovers. They turned the ball over 4 times. Very difficult to win football games if you're turning the ball over that much. Turnovers were an issue early on for this team, but during this winning streak, they're plus 10 in the giveaway takeaway, and now overall in the season, they're even.
So they were even now. So I remember they were minus 8, I thought it was. I guess it was minus 10 at one point. If they're plus 10 and they're even now, that is not Chiefs football. So yeah, they're back to doing what they do.
Yeah, 16 takeaways during their winning streak certainly helps with that. So hopefully they can find some offensive rhythm, keep this going here against the Chargers, hold on to the football, and leave LA with a 2-game lead in the AFC West. Mike, awesome stuff, man. Really appreciate your time.
You got it.